Welcome to my channel RK Tutorials. Now we are in the 10th class. If anyone still not yet subscribe, please subscribe. So the topic is classification of relays. So the relays are classified based on mainly three categories. Based on three factors. So what are those three factors? First one is based on the time of operation. Time of operation. So based on the time of operation, the relays are classified. And second one is based on their application, where to apply these relays. Also, different classifications of relays are there, like over current, over voltage, etc., etc. And here the third one is, last factor is based on its constructional features. So based on these three parameters, based on these three factors, the relays are classified. So today we will discuss about the time of operation. Based on the time of operation, how many types of different characteristics are there. So now here, based on the time of operation, there are 6 types of relays are available, and based on the application also there are 4 types. Based on the construction, there are 5 types of relays, but not completely, not 15, but they are correlated to each other. They are just correlated to each other, so that you will see in the upcoming classes. The first one is, let us talk about the different classifications of relays based on time of operation. Let us say based on relays based on time of operation. In this type of relays, the operational time is the most important thing we should remember. So there are 6 types. First one is instantaneous relays. Second one is definite relays. Third one is inverse relays. Fourth one is IDMT relays. IDMT means inverse definite minimum time relays. BCD. Fifth one is very inverse relays. And finally, extreme inverse time relays. So these are all based on the time of operation. Now let us see first the instantaneous relays. So the name itself gives the information that the relay operates instantaneously when the fault exists, when the fault current exists, when the set value, if the fault current is more than that of the set value, then automatically the relay will come into picture and operate immediately, provide the trip signal to the circuit breaker. That is what is the instantaneous relays. I mean, there will not be an intentional time delay in the relay circuit, so it will not be operated lately according to our wish, but it will be instantaneous. So they will act instantaneously. They will act instantaneously. So if you plot the time versus fault current magnitude, this is the fault current magnitude and this is the time. If you plot, so here is the relay pickup value, so this is the, so here we pickup current, IPC in the sense pickup current. or you can say set value, beyond which only the relay operates. So here, if the fault current magnitude increases, that does not affect the time of operation. It will, when it crosses the pickup current, immediately the relay acts. So time is constant. Constant in the sense it does not depends on the fault current magnitude. So which type of relays we can call instantaneous relays? So when the time of operation of the relay is less than or equal to 0.1 seconds, the time of operation of the relay is less than or equal to 0.1 seconds, such a type of relays are called instantaneous relays. So I hope you understood. Let us go to the next slide. Second one. So what is second one? That is definite relays. Definite relays. So here I'm not giving any points for writing. Means if you want to take the notes, you can pause the video and take the points. So in the previous relay, I mean the instantaneous relay, we are not providing any intentional time delay, but in the definite time relay, we are going to define some time. I mean, we are going to provide some time delay into the relay circuit. We are going to introduce an intentional time delay. Here also time of operation is independent of the fault current magnitude only. But what is the difference from the instantaneous relays to the definite time relays? Simple. So definite time relays. The simple thing is we are providing intentional delay in the time of operation. So let us say this is the pickup current. So we are providing some intentional delay. Here this is the fault current. Whatever the fault current, wherever the fault current, to which extent the fault current may be increasing, but the time of operation is constant, but we are providing a necessary delay. Delay in time of operation. So this is what is called as definite time relay. Now let us go to the third, that is inverse time relay. Inverse time relay. This is from here. These all are important only, but from here you have to concentrate more. So inverse time relay. What is the speciality of the inverse time relay? So here the time of operation, inverse is the time of operation. The time of operation is inversely proportional to the fault current magnitude. How? If the fault current is more, then the time of operation gets reduced. If the fault current is less, then the time of operation is more. We will see the characteristics on the plot. This is the fault current magnitude and this is the time of operation as usually. Let us say this is the pickup current and here is the inverse characteristics. So we can, this is pickup current IPC. So if you take this instant, what is the fault current here? The fault current is less, so the time of operation is more. And if you go here the fault current is more, what happens to the time of operation? Less. So like this the inverse time relay can be explained. So it is like if I give the example like triple L fault and line to ground fault. So as triple L faults are very severe, the fault current in the triple L fault is far more compared to that of the fault current in the LG. So then the inverse time relay operates first for the triple L fault, later for the LG faults. So this is what is about the inverse time characteristics, inverse time relays. Now let us go to the next type of relay. This is another important one, that is IDMT relay, inverse definite minimum time relay. So it is a combination of inverse and definite characteristics. Here you have to analyze. Let us take an example. Let us take a CT whose rating is 400 by 5, and as we know, every CT, whatever the CT it may be, its core gets saturated. CT core gets saturated at certain fault current. Let us say that fault current is 6 times the full load current, and let us see this analysis. We are taking different currents, different full load currents. Let us take here 10 times full load current. So here, according to this rating, 2 times the full load current is 2 times 400 is 800 by 2 times 5 is 10. That is okay, it is not saturated. And here also 4 times means 1600 by 5 4 times is 20. Here 2400 by 30, but here the CT is getting saturated. Saturated in the sense the secondary will not sense the current again here. So like that, 8%, I mean 8 times the full load, it is going to be 3200. The full load, the fault current increases on the primary, but the secondary still remains at 30 only. At 10 times also, the secondary will not change even though the fault current on the primary increases. So here it is giving constant characteristics, and here is giving inverse characteristics, and here the CT gets saturated. If you see the magnetization characteristics of a relay, so this is current, fault current, this is flux, so here the curve will be. So here is the saturation point, I mean the 6 times the full load current, so above which there is no change in the flux, so that it is saturated. Now if you see the time versus fault current characteristics, this is fault current magnitude versus time of operation. So during till the saturation point, so let us say this is the pickup current, I pickup current set value. So till the saturation, it acts as a inverse relay. So it is showing inverse time characteristics. The fault current increases, automatically the time of operation gets reduced, like that. But above which, beyond the saturation, it is showing constant characteristics like definite time characteristics. So here time is inversely proportional to the fault current, but here the time is constant. This is the speciality of the IDMT relay. This is because of the current transformer. Its core should be saturated at certain value. So here we have taken that is 6 times the full load current. So here where the saturation, here where the till here the current is clear and it can sense, but above which it cannot sense, it just gives the constant value. So this is what is IDMT relays. This is an important one. And we have next one is E and F. These are simple. This is very inverse relays and this is extreme inverse relays. So let us see the characteristics. Simply with the characteristics, that is more than enough. This is fault current and time and fault current. So what is the important point of this very inverse time relay? So the important point of very inverse time relay is the very inverse time relay saturates at later point of the IDMT. So this is a pickup current. This is the IDMT characteristics, and it saturates somewhere here, same as usual. So this is IDMT. This is very inverse relay, very inverse time relay. Now if you come to the extreme inverse time relay, it will saturate even further stages. So this is the pickup current. This is the time relay. This is the IDMT, above which it saturates is the very inverse relay, beyond which it saturates, this is extreme inverse time relay. So these are the characteristics of the different types of relays. I hope you understood, and in the next class we will see the important topic, that is how to adjust the pickup current, and also we will discuss about the plug setting multiplier. That is the most important topic, and some expected questions are there for PSUs as well as the gate as well. So I hope you understood this class. Thank you, and signing off.